In the opening video we just watched, which is the first in the list, we presented the information that was basic to using the application. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and navigate within the application to see what's available. Let's go ahead and click on the app map, which brings up a popover. We're currently on the main screen. We're going to also be going and looking at the buyer's overview next, and we're going to show you the video help screen. But the primary screen, which is colored slightly different, is the vehicle selection screen. The vehicle selection screen is used to present information for entry into the following screens down here. These are actually subscreens to the vehicle selection. We're going to show you how we're going to be using popovers to add data, and anytime we want to go look at the individual records from the vehicle search, dealer selection, window sticker, vehicle photos, and vehicle delivery dealer photos, and then these last two are we actually editing drop-down lists to do vehicle search websites and dealer websites. Let's start out by going to the buyer's overview. In the buyer's overview, it's a narrative screen where if you scroll through the screen, and we got a pop up here, I'm just going to scroll, you'll have that in your way until you initially start working through the screen. And what you can do is you can use information, since this is editable. If you wanted to, you could say select it all, copy and paste it somewhere, or you can share it with somebody, or you can paste in text. Now this screen is actually being set up as a editable text screen. So what does that do for you? What it does is it allows you to edit the information that's on this screen and give you the ability to go ahead and as I pull it down, you'll see there's quite a bit of information here. On the iPad or iPhone, you would just scroll it with your finger, and I'm using the cursor. But there is a purpose for this application described, getting started, how to control a deal, which is the deal at a dealership, or control a deal when you're working with another party where you're selling your own vehicle. You can prepare for the purchase, and what this is a prep area where you learn how to prepare your vehicle and also prepare your trade for trade-in, and what you're going to be needing to go to a dealership and offer your vehicle as a trade-in. And then also in the same vein, you're going to be looking for an application that has the MSRP, which is an actual dealer sticker on the vehicle, and it's going to relate that information to how you actually use the MSRP and do the information and find information that you're looking for the vehicle you want to select. Now, as I scroll down through this, I'm going to keep on popping this up until I pop it down because it's trying to simulate the scrolling. I can go ahead and go through the information that's here and go to the bottom, and you can see the dealership finance office is what we're going to be covering, which is a whole group of information about how to not be taken when you go to the dealer finance within your organization where you were at the dealership. So that information plus all of this we're scrolling through here is related to the purchase and preparing for the purchase of a vehicle. You can actually, if you wanted to, if you click on this and then select it, you'd have to double click. And what you can do is say select all, and depending upon the application availability on the actual iPhone, you should be able to also have a thing where it'll say speak it, and it'll actually say the information for that information that's on the screen. A lot of people don't realize that the iPad and iPhone, especially the iPhone, has the ability to actually narrate the information within a text area. Now, I allowed you to edit all the information that's here and here so you can add tips and information that you find that are helpful to you to add to this list of information. For example, especially if you're going to be representing clients, you can actually, what you would do is you take the information that's being worked on in here and add key points and new things that you feel are important within the information for the overview for the buyer. Okay, so this is kind of an important area. It covers some of the very detailed information that you're going to need in order to be prepared when you go to a dealership. We're going to cover a lot of this when we're doing the individual screens, and I'm going to be pointing out certain things that you need to be aware of when you're actually working with a salesperson or the sales manager or the internet desk, which we'll be discussing. So let's go to the next thing, which is Video Help. And Video Help is basically a browser built into the application. And what this does is it allows you to bring up the help screens. And right now there's only the one we created so far. When we get done, there are going to be several more screens listed here. You would click on this and it would start the application video when you click on the arrow over here, so that you can understand each individual screen through the tutorial and be able to use the tutorials to learn the individual functions and features of this application. The next screen we're going to be looking at is the vehicle selection, and I'm just going to open it up and start it, and I'll describe some of the major parts of it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go through all the information as how to use this screen, because this is the primary editing and input screen. So when you're basically creating your first deal, you would go ahead and add a new record, and it says here this is the one vehicle transaction. When you create a new record ID, there's going to be an ID set up here, and this screen would be blank. Initially, when you're using the application, these two records and some other information will be in the application. I want to point out that you can easily edit this and put your own information in here, or change the actual screen over here where there's replace the image or delete the image if you want to, and add your own information. This is called overwriting the information. And the same thing occurs when you're actually selecting a vehicle and also using these other screens. The same thing occurs where if you go to an individual screen, there is a delete button either in a portal or the individual screens that you're working in here, like the vehicle selection, where you can delete the individual records that you're looking at right here. Now, you can also do that by using a portal record. What you would do is it'd be the individual screen that you're viewing. And we're going to cover that a little bit more detail when we go through all these different buttons and popovers. Okay, the app map is available here if you want to jump from any one screen. It's a single click to go to anything in the application from here. But there are portal buttons also, and in some cases there are other links that you can go to from the application. Now when you go into the video helps or searching for vehicles and stuff where you have an actual a dealer search or a dealer selection, they will bring up a URL on the web browser within that screen, and there's a drop down list where you can add your own dealers and own vehicles that you want to have from different video sites, as far as a dealer in your local area or something across your dealer area or outside of the dealer area. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and go through each one of these individual buttons on this side and explain how they're used. Thank you.